Uh, all right. This is gonna be part seven. Uh, my journey of my life. So basically, where I left off in part six, where I finished my middle school, and my father acting like a child because because I would no longer time giving him money, giving him I wasn't giving him money or giving him the attention or the satisfaction of him hurting me anymore and stuff like that. So I decided once I finished middle school, I decided to go with my mom and do go to high school, which is here where I'm at. But I already finished it. It was 2020 that I finished high school or graduated from high school. So when I left my father, I was 14, and so 14 and I finished high school when I was 18. So I'm currently 21 this now. But this is not going to be, I'm going to have a separate video of my high school year, but this is going to scheme over, you know, basically all I'll say is from when I got here, um, my depression kicked up even higher. I was always depressed. Every time I was happy, it's like something new that I was happy, and then depression came right after. I always stayed in my room, slept in the dark, played video games, had felt like the world was on my shoulders, and being an outcast didn't help my situation at all. So it's like I was chubby then, so it's like nobody really even cared. It's like at that point, it's like, um, you can be handsome or pretty from both different genders, and it's like you basically could have got away with merely anything versus someone who was thick with my age size at that time. Um, that's just how society is. That's just how they deemed it and stuff. I mean, that's why they got plastic surgery, makeup, and stuff like that. Especially guys, there's dudes that just go to the gym just because so they can get out of that, to have benefits of looking good. Like some people do it for themselves, and most of the time, it's like they work out for themselves to better and heal themselves and feel good about themselves. But at the same time, doing it just because they know the benefits that comes with it. Anybody is working out just to get the opposite sex to see them and notice them. That's the only reason why. Not everybody go to the gym for them. They do for them, but also behind closed doors just to get attention. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So it's just so then I just couldn't really talk to anyone about my problems and stuff because most of the time people didn't really care. Most of the time they just didn't care. They just rather focus on their problems, or just even if they just chilling and stuff, they just rather focus on themselves and stuff like that. But my uncle here, he ended up having two boys and his wife. Well, they weren't married, but here in Texas, if you have kids and stuff, then you considered married. But they're not here anymore. They moved. But here, my uncle was the only male role model that helped me through. Did his best to help me through my entire school year for helping myself. But most of the time, I had to do the work on my own, basically. So my entire life, for me wanting to change, I did it on my own. My family had uh my family didn't help me change. They made sure that I was down. They made sure I was suppressed. They made sure I was sad so they can up better me, because they still had envy and jealous of me when I moved, and I never understood the reason why, because I never had anything that is materialistic wise. So the only thing that could have been is spiritual wise, because they didn't want me to have nothing materialistically. And life is just It's life. It's not hard, man. It's like growing up so far. I was the one who got abused, like physically, emotionally, and yeah, I wasn't perfect when I was in my was it high school year, but that's a different story. That's a different story. But that's something about me. But this is about the whole spill. My family still think about gulags and stuff like that. Sending myself to the gulag and stuff. I feel a little drained. Because of it's how's it that bright? It's not even that bright. It's showing out bright, but it's not even bright right there. It's not even bright at all. Uh, I don't know what that's about. It's not even because it's raining outside. That's the thing. It was raining. Today is raining. So I don't know what that's about. But anywho, um, I'm just gonna cut to the point where I graduated high school. When I graduated high school, I went back up to go visit my dad because we was talking and saying that how much he changed and stuff. But this time I was 18. So um after I graduated, it was a month later that my mother helped me. Oh no, my father got me a plane ticket. Got the plane ticket, went to the airport, and it was a 3 hour flight from Texas to Michigan. It's a 3 hour flight versus a 22 hour driving. Yeah, I take that deal. At that time, I really flying. I used to be so scared of flying. Like I used to be scared of heights, but since I was flying so much, I had to fly there and fly back so many times that I got used to it. But when I got there, he had his own apartment. So when I got there, the first week, I remember it was July. It was the first week of July, and when I got there, I think it was July 3rd. Then when I got there, and then as soon as I land, we was he picked me up. We was talking and all that stuff, and he still smoked at this time, but he smoked excessively, smoked weed heavily because he got retired from military and he got PTSD and all that stuff. But I don't think weed is going to solve that problem and stuff. I think it just enables you to just want to buy more weed and spend more money. But hey, it's on you. But I ain't gonna lie, when I graduated from high school, I started smoking weed my own dang self because of all these problems that I was going through. I had no one to talk to. You may say why you couldn't talk to your mom and your uncle because every time I try to talk to them, they rather watch TV. They rather watch their son or stuff like that. My uncle really didn't talk much and stuff like that. So he had his own problems going on. So he did what he could, but I still respect him because he did the best he could. But for my mom and them, my mom she rather watch TV and not deal with me because she always be saying like she did try her best to talk to me and stuff, but most of the time she gets irritated when I'm around her, like because I'm naturally energetic and stuff like that. I'm just like, bro, why you always getting mad when I come in your room? But then you got no problem to be gossiping on the phone and stuff. You got no problem talking about me on the phone. I I don't I come in the room, you busy. All right, but I'm gonna mess with you a little then leave. But when you're not busy, you still want to act like you're busy when you're simply watching TV, bro. I don't understand how y'all parents are like this. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it's smart for your kids not to mess with you when you're not when you're busy, okay. But when you're free, play with your kids, or if you want kids wants to hang around, bro. Why y'all make it like the most difficult thing in the universe? Like you had the kid, bro. Couldn't keep your horny hands to yourself. Cause it triggers me, bro. It triggers me because I didn't grow up having love at all. So it's like I have to break down myself just for the other person who ain't gonna care for me and stuff like that. And I had to build up myself so much that it was not even funny. Like anybody who had a girlfriend or boyfriend, you don't really understand the true meaning of being alone. Like being alone is meaning that you have no one, you have no family to talk to. Most of the time, your best friend is the walls that you look at. The walls you talk to yourself. You always in your head trying to think, and those is the true meaning of the life. That's where I live. Anybody else who lived it are living the true life, because you cannot really tackle any problems, understand yourself truthfully if you have never been in those situations. Now that doesn't mean that that people who does it is better. No, I'm saying that that's like 99.9% way for you to understand yourself better when you like, because you're going to have friends later on. I never have friends, uh truthfully friends, because we're going to get into different, but I'm saying like you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you married, or you like someone or something, or you have friends and all that stuff. That's cool. I may not know what you went through behind the scenes, but if you the type of people who never experienced loneliness or too scared of being alone, then it'd be your best bet to do it now, because you're not going to understand yourself. You're always going to be asking yourself, what can I do? Or you just won't truly know yourself. Like the only way you're going to truly know yourself if you're literally sitting like what I do, just in the drywall, look at the drywall, think a lot, spend more time with yourself, and just be bored. Those are the only way that you can start to understand and tap in within yourself with any less distractions. You literally have to be isolated to the point that you're comfortable with being alone. That's just me and other people out there in the world who does that too. But that's how they get to where they at. That's how they achieve more and understand about themselves more, because they went through this painful period in life. Because if you have friends and you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, you ain't gonna tap in. It's always gonna be distractions. You tend to start better yourself for you, then it's going to be some envy, jealousy. Then it's going to be all these extra stuff that you can easily avoid. I'm saying it's your best bet to go through this alone period of time before you find someone, because then when you find someone, it's be nearly impossible. It's not going to be nearly possible. It's going to be impossible for you to not know who you are and what you're capable of doing, how to move and all that stuff, because of you took the time, you've been alone, you tapped in within yourself to be able to know who you generally are without any distraction or anything. So when anybody come up to you in trying to tell you something that you're not, or other things, you can just easily like you have the option to respond or just not, because you know who you are. It comes to a point you don't even have to explain or justify yourself, because you should be able to leave your own house and stuff, and people can just pick it up naturally, just pick it up. But back to the story. When I came back, or when I landed on the 3rd, July 3rd, my father got me, picked me up. I started smoking. So I was smoking here before I left. I smoked with my uncle then, but I graduated from high school and all that stuff. So I took care of school first. But at this time, COVID happened. So my last, I can't say too much. I can't say too much. But look, I started smoking when I graduated from high school. Although the story is gonna have a separate video, you're gonna understand. So I went with my dad. As soon as I landed, he picked me up. He already had like, he has his own tray stuff. He had like 4 blunts already pre-rolled and stuff. So I was starting to understand that that's how he does. Mentioning stuff. Ooh, I was zooted. I was like, bro, I cannot concentrate. But we was talking and stuff like that. We got to the crib. I took a nap, woke up. Then he took me to a pizza shop. He took me to the pizza shop. And I used to work at Marco's, but I didn't at the time. So he took me to Marco's, and he said he knew my uncle. I call him Big M. Big M worked there. My dad previously worked there at the time, but he had to take leave because of his health, mental health, as being a manager and stuff like that. So he had to recover from his health and stuff like that. So when I landed and came there, he took me to Marcos, and I was like, "Oh snap, all right." And he said he was talking to Big M, which is his. It's not his brother, but his close. He's like, you might as well, because close in the family. Me, mine would be brother, but he's my uncle. But I call him Big M. So, because he's not big, but he's freaking tall, bro. He's tall. He is tall. He's like 6 feet. He's six something, but he's 6 feet. He is tall. But he is skinny, though. He's skinny and tall. So, I got there. My dad talked to him. He's talking about for me working, and I was like, sure, why not? I just landed. So I basically landed, took a nap, and already applied for a job just by landing within that whole day. And it was still the third. I signed the application and everything. Boom. On the 5th, I came in, I already got the job basically. So I came in there, I did the Marco app thing, just prepared and watched and stuff like that. And on the 6th, it was the next day. On the 6th was my actual first day actually making the pizza and stuff like that. All in within 1 week of me landing, I already had a job and everything. So I was making good money. I was the insider, so I make the pizza. I make sure things are prepped and stuff. And it was a lot of insiders and like good 4 or 5 pizza drivers deliveries. So I had the good inside of it. So I worked Monday to Friday, and I worked night shift. So that means my father wasn't working at the time. So when I landed, he was recently unemployed at that time. So I was the only one that was working. So I came in at 12. No, I came in like at 1 or 2. It was later in the evening, like around 12 to 2, one of those times that I came in, because I didn't close until 10 o'clock. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I came in at 4. Yeah, I came in at 4. So my shift is at 4 to 10. So that was my shift for that entire week. So that day I came in at 4. So that means that I can wake up in the morning, do what I do, and then around 12 o'clock in the afternoon I take a nap. So by the time I wake up, normally I smoke to help me go to sleep and stuff, because my father got me on the dispensaries and stuff down the street from the house, the apartment that he was at. And normally I'll wake up in the morning, roll up one, then play the video game, chill, go downstairs, hang with my dad and smoke with him, and we watch TV, or sometimes we play the game. So that was in this first week. So I went to work. He drove me to work, and then I caught up on things easy. It took a minute, but I'm a fast learner, so I get the hang of it real quick. And it paid good money. So I get paid every 2 weeks, and plus every time we come in we get tips. So the tips be like ranging like $15 to $25 a day in cash. So that means that if you save up your tips will be 100 plus a 300. So that's 400 right there. So 2 weeks has came by because of I worked my full 2 weeks. Yeah. After my first paycheck came in, and remember when I said previously in my other stories, when I'm around people, it takes 3 days for them to show their true colors. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you is. Either you're a good or a bad person. It doesn't matter. If I'm around you, it takes 3 days for me to understand who the environment that it plays out. I don't know why. It just do. It does. It happened my entire life. So 2 weeks has came by, and then that's when my father started to show his true colors, in a sense of things started to go back the same how it was, basically. So he wanted me to got a job, and I got excited. He was, how black people be like, low vibrational black people, they be like, oh, you got, like, they see you excited, they want to all of a sudden be in your business. It's like, get out my way, man, get out my face, bro. And it's one of those type of sense things to say like, oh, I get a job, I'm mad at you because you got a job. They never want to see you happy. That's how my dad was. That's how everybody is in this family. They tell you to do something, you do it. They get mad. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, and they know they doing it. That's the funniest thing. They know what they're doing. Like, I keep looking at this book. Hold on, my space book. Yeah, this is in school though. Space. You see all these planets, bro? I needed my space, bro. And on top of that, it all these planets and stuff like that. And when you doing this, come on now. How there's so many galaxies, so many planets, and so many Milky Way galaxies and stuff, and you're doing this. How there's so much problems. It doesn't make no sense. I need my own space. I need my space. So anyways, the 2 weeks mark came and I was like, I did something like or like yes. And he was like, "You got paid?" I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, he said, "That's cool." He said, "That's cool." So as soon as the day that I got paid, that's when the whole thing, my entire life was flipped upside down. I never understood it, but as soon as I got it, boom, my entire life was just every time something good happened, boom. And you expect me to do something to someone that how you expect me to be rude or something to someone if this happened to me my entire life? Why would I put that on someone else if this is happening to me? That's not fair. Maybe if my life was good and then I started crapping on people, then I understand. But how can I crap on people if my life is crapped on? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I know many people, when you do see these videos, you will understand your own dang self that how can you crap on other people or down other people if your life is already like that? And that's the funny thing about it, you didn't even do anything about it. You just wake up. You just do what you need to do, and it's happened. Out of all those galaxies and stuff, will have to be here. Sometimes when I wake up, I be disappointed being on this earth because how goofy this thing is. How goofy it is. Because of how goofy. It is goofy, bro. It's goofy. But anywho, as soon as I got paid and did one of those gestures of excitement, then he was talking about like, now he said something like now you can start paying your own stuff, like not like rent or anything yet, but it was just like, my own dispensary if I wanted weed and stuff like that. And he basically being in my pockets. So it's like I get this from him. It's like anytime we go to the store or something like that, he basic when I get paid, he's worried about my pockets. We go to the store, he be like, "You think you can give me this? You think you can give me that?" Or uh if you want me to do this, it's going to be this amount of money or something like that. He finds excuses to extract money out of me for him to get my money, or he just be envious of that I got paid and don't want me to have any money. So that's how he was playing, and that's how ever since the first time I got a paycheck, that's how it was. And then oh, you thought it was over? No, it's just getting started. It's getting better. It's getting better. I be in the kitchen, and then I be when I come home from work, I be making me some. I be bringing back some pizza and stuff like that. But I be using the microwave. Okay, so now when I use the microwave and say like I set it for a minute, then because I don't like my pizza or my food scorching hot, I like to eat it right out of the microwave. So I say I put it in for a minute, then I start to hear that sizzling. So it'd be like, all right, I pull it out. It's hot enough for me. It's good enough for me, and it'd be like 30 seconds left on the clock, and I don't think nothing of it. He'd be like, hit the reset button, yeah, hit the reset button, and it would turn back to the actual clock, like 3 o'clock or whatever. I was like, okay, dude. So my day goes by and all that stuff, and I use the microwave, and then it'll be like at 2, 3 seconds left. All right. So now I keep in mind I don't be thinking about it or anything like that. So he be like, "Why do you?" It's like I told you to hit the reset button. Now he's trying to find a way to get upset about me. Because remember, anybody in this family and anybody in general, I don't really care. I just be in my mood, be in my business, doing what I do. But most of the people around that I would never understand till the day I die. I see everybody who be upset at someone, and that's called a reason. I don't care what the reason is. You just have a reason, and it's not no type of reason that you have to think upside your head. For them, to me, they always have to come up with something outside their head. Like I even be telling them, bro, you should be mad at this person because they literally broke your stuff. They literally said something to you, but you be like, you know what? Even though they did that, I don't really care. It's a real reason, but I don't want to use real reasons. I'm not really like that. I don't want to use my common sense. But for you, I want to find reasons. I want to. They literally have to pull it from their butt, or literally have to look at the cosmos and wait for a word to come by just to grab it, or they just simply just do this. So as soon as the whole microwave, he didn't have to. I'm just like in my head, I said you could just reset it yourself because anybody who used the microwave and then it is set like 3 seconds and stuff. If I'm gonna use it, I'm just gonna hit the reset button or just use the microwave. Well, the common sense around me, it's like as soon as they come around me, common sense just go out of market. It's like when they be like, oh, they use common sense in their daily life, but as soon as they come around me, they don't even know what common sense is. That makes me mad. Cause this is I'm irritated because it's stupid. It's stupid how people just do this stuff for fun or thinking that it's cool or something. And then at this point, that I was only smoking weed because I that was my only source of way of calmness, under the calmness, and I don't have to talk to people. I listen to chill beats, music, and just smoke, and then call it a day. That was it. But when he just gets mad at me over that. But he just keep in mind there's no real reason for you to be upset because anybody can use common sense. And the thing is, yes, you can simply sit down and talk to them about it. But he didn't. He don't talk to me about nothing. He just it's like when someone comes to your house, you normally lay ground rules. You lay the ground rules and stuff like that, and then you be like, all right, so that person knows. No, with me, he doesn't do that. He just, I told you did this, and that, and I told him, it's like, all right. And then after that, I look at him with no emotions, and he be like, yeah, I take. He does take like these medicines, pills that not make him mad or whatever, and he doesn't take them. Like, why is an 18-year-old telling you and a 30-year-old dude to take your medicine that you should have been doing that? But what were you doing before I showed up? You know, what were you doing? Just because I showed up now, you got to stop doing what you was doing. But that's how it was, and then I just go back upstairs. I just go back upstairs and just be onto myself, man. He'd be downstairs playing the game. I'd be upstairs playing my game on my Xbox and just be chilling because it'd be like 12 o'clock at this time. So then I already ate. And then around close to 1, I smoke because then by the time I go to work, it doesn't. You know, I made mistakes at times smoking like 15 minutes before I head to work, or I'd be smoking to head to work because my dad already have a pre-roll. For me, I would smoke at the house. At the house, he bring his stuff with him. So when I go to work, I'll be sluggish. I'll be like, or I just be moving slow and stuff like that. And then they be knowing, so I was like, man, I gotta do something about it. But every time that I get paid, he always switches up. He always get jealous and envy of me and stuff like that. And he telling and just trying to find a way to like disrupt my peace every single time. And then when I be sitting in the living, or when I wake up in the morning and I be sitting in the living room, he be like, "You only here to smoke my weed." All because of Kim. He had no problem when I had no money. And then I told him, I'm not here just to smoke your weed. I just rolled up one. I just smoked. You give it to me. So I don't ask him, or sometimes like at the time I just don't ask him. But the only time I will ask him is because I rolled up one. And because I rolled up one, so I asked him, "Hey, can I hit yours?" We smoke mine and then we smoke his. You know, as we watching shows or stuff like that. I just be on my phone playing video games, and after I be so high, I just want to go take a nap, bro. I just want to go take a nap, and that's it. That's also the entire time. And the same thing when I call my mom and tell her how it's going. I got a job. I'm getting money. I'm making real good money and stuff like that. Then he gonna be like, "Who you talking to? What are you talking to your mom about?" and all that. So I'm just like, bro, you had not changed at all. See, this is the thing. He tells me that he changed, and then next you know he doesn't. I'm just like, bro, I'm stuck with this dude for right now. I be so mad at myself. I be like, why am I giving this dude a chance, man? Why am I giving him a chance? And as soon as he showed his true colors to me, I'm like, bro, I'm stuck with him. But lo and behold, you know, he was trying to apply for jobs and stuff, and I'm like, bro, just work at Marco's with me. We literally we only got his car, so I said, just go. Let's go to work at Marco's again. So I convinced him. Now he started back up working. By the time I was already 2 months in, I was 2 months in working at Marco's, and then he came in. So he was delivery driver as he was before, and then he started driving, delivering the pizza while I'm inside. And when I'm inside, I met some cool people in there and stuff like that. Um, the rush hour was crazy. So the rush hours be like as soon as I, but our time before I get it, our time difference is time difference. So we work together, we work at the same place, but he works in the morning and I work in the afternoon still. So he works at 10 to 12. So 10 to 12, and then no, not 10 to 12, my fault. He works basically when the store opens. So he has to be there before the store opens. So he has the keys to open it. Then he works all the way up to 4. So when his 4 comes around, then that's when he comes to the house to get me, take me to the store. And then um he comes home and then he will pick me up once I'm done with my shift. So he had the morning and I had the afternoon. So I had the closing, he has the opening shift. So then uh you know, we smoke and stuff like that. But if I wake up in the morning, he be gone and stuff, and I just be chilling. And that'll be the best moments. When he's gone at work, I just be smoking. I be chilling. I just do what I please to do and stuff like that until he comes back, and then I gotta get ready and all that stuff. But on my shift, when I get there at 5 to 6, oh no, 6 to 7, 6 to 7 is where the rush hour comes in. So I mean, it'd be fun. It'd be fun because we be listening to music and stuff in there. We be having mad fun. But there's some days that I had to be. There's some days that when people started to not show up and stuff like that, or Big M switches the schedule around. So it'd be most of the time it'd be me, the insider. So I'm the only one that's making the pizza. So there's times I had a rush hour, man, those stuff be exhausting because of it's better when I'm working with someone because we go it's much smoother, but I had to make pizza at a certain time. So say like there's times I'll be there, so I'll be like, man, as soon as 6 o'clock strikes, the phone's gonna be ringing. The phone's gonna be ringing. So it just be me and the manager. So it'd be me and Big M. Then sometimes it'd be me, Big M, and 2 pizza deliveries. But sometimes the pizza deliveries help me because they have their deliveries, so they make it, and sometimes they cut it up and then they go take it and stuff like that. But me, I just be the. Sometimes it just be me making the whole pizza, cutting it, and yada yada. It'd be so extra. But Big M helps me cut the pizza and put the pizza and stuff together and stuff like that. But I'm saying sometimes I have to do most of the like 68% of the stuff. So as soon as they be like a order pops up, like if it makes it, I be having PTSD with that noise. I come home stinking, and then I be in the bed like huh. We gotta make order, and I'm realized, man, I'm in the bed, man. I was like, I never knew PTSD was like that, man. I had real PTSD. I never knew that it was PTSD because I'd be like, huh. I was like, oh, I was like, I gotta remind myself I'm in the bed. I was like, what the heck now? Come on. But I feel like, all right. So 2 large pizzas. All right. Make that joke. The next, 3 orders popping up. I'm like, oh my days. And they got the phone ringing. I'm like, bro, come on. That's be the worst when people, like, 4 people call the store at the same time. I say, bro, y'all need to go eat healthy, bro. Nah, I'm joking. But nah, it'd be more money in my pocket. What you talking about? But at that time, it was cool. I actually have fun. I have fun, making pizzas. And also working was my comfort zone. I didn't want to be at home with my father anyways. Well, I'm ready to go to the house without smoking and go to bed, or I just be listening to jazz music and just listen like life and stuff. He really didn't help me with life situations, so that's why I doubled on my smoking. And he'd be like, why? Because I want you to really sit there and think to yourself, when have you ever had, when you was growing up, only for the people who didn't have their own families and people to, help them be molded and help them understand themselves in a sense of like that. And it's like, sit there and really think, how can you, okay, I'm gonna make this example, good example. How would you know what to do in a situation if you haven't been taught? How would you be able to know to heal? How would you be able to know how to do it? Well, okay, and I got interrupted. I what the heck? So basically, I'm just gonna wrap it up real quick and stuff. So it's like I was saying, like, how do you expect someone to know if you have not taught them? How do you expect them to know something if they hadn't been taught or it hasn't come to their mind? It's like it doesn't make no sense at all. Like, how do you expect someone to heal if they don't know the first steps or something like that? You didn't teach them anything. They go what they see what other people do to escape this stuff. So that's what I did. I smoked a lot to run away from my problems, and um, that's how it was. Dispensaries and go to dispensaries every month because my dad cannot live without weed. That dude needs weed. He always refills and refills. He was generous and kind for me to get some of his weed and roll up and stuff like that. We chief our stuff like that. We play video games, and I really couldn't have fun as much. He tried to teach me his games, but the games is where like a player manner. I ain't really into that player and stuff because I'm more independent. I don't really my heart was already broken, hurt, and all that stuff. I just didn't want to deal with people. I didn't really care about love and stuff like that. So, it kind of it put me in the thought of mind like it didn't make me envious, but it makes me feel sick to my stomach how I see people who are in relationships, who has a boyfriend or girlfriend or married or have friends and they don't know the true meaning of life of how to feel broken down and stuff. And plus I had no choice. There's times I had choices and stuff, but most of the time I went down these roads because no one taught me anything about it, and I just like skip it. So, to you people out there who has that and stuff like that, I say the best thing you do is cherish it. Cause I don't understand how you complain about your friends this, your friend is that. Now I understand like how your friend was this and friends is that, or your girlfriend is cheating, your boyfriend is cheating, all that stuff. I say, bro, you in a relationship for a reason. There's other people who wants to be in your shoes. I mean, as being in a relationship because people need the love. If you just go out there and find love and all that, that's cool. But you really don't need to be putting out publicly in the world to know because they don't care. They don't care at all. You put your business out, your relationship status on the internet, all that's gonna do is just jeopardize it quicker than you got it together. And then the friends and stuff like that, it's like, bro, keep that in the low. Talk to them about it, bro. You know, if it's you and Kyle needs to work it out. You don't need to bring Susie in. Bro, they ain't got nothing to do with that. Maybe if you were trying to get a point across or trying to see the different sides, yes, but you just complaining and just be like, bro, other people would rather be a friend, rather have these things that you have, and you just complaining all the time about it. Yes, we're humans, but if you just complain more than fixing the situation, then you don't need nobody but yourself at this point to work on yourself. Only if you just do more of the complaining than healing, than solving the problem. Now that's complaining once or twice, yes, you're human. But if you do more of that than in the healing and stuff, then you don't need them. You just don't. You just not. It's not for you at this time. I only say that because of a lot of observing I did and a lot of things that I went through. It's just that's just what I gotta deal with. Maybe the next lifetime it won't be as this difficult it is. So that's just all I can say from that. But ever since he started working and stuff like that, things were smooth and stuff at times. You know, There's some days that I have some days off. My day off is on the weekends, but it don't feel it feels very short, very short lived, you know. But uh, on my day off, I think my dad had to work Saturday, so he would get the weekends and Monday off. So on the days that I'm off, or the sometimes on the days that I'm off, or the day that I'm clocked in, but it's the morning shift, his shift, I shadow him. I basically be in the car with him as he's delivering pizza and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, smoking, listening to music, and just talking about experience and stuff. He likes to talk about himself a lot more than about others and stuff. So it's about him when he speaks. You already know the story. You already know what the words gonna come out his mouth. You already finna know all that stuff. So that's just how it is. That's just how he is. Man, life got me so messed up in a sense of that I just tired of people who are just low vibrational and stuff like that. Well, it wasn't yeah myself, but I had no choice. People have choices, you know. People have choices, and the choices that I had growing up in a facility that was toxic. You know, I didn't teach me from right from wrong. All they taught me was toxicity and all this stuff growing up at the age. So that's what the first thing that I was exposed to. So I thought that I was okay and stuff like that. For people who has a not to say a perfect family, but I say if you have a parent that helps you and willingly to help you learn and stuff, bro, just cherish that, because I wouldn't say you will not survive in these type of climates, in these type of shoes, and this is not no prideful, no ego, no nothing. For other people who's in this shoes, you will understand and know what it took and take to heal and get to where you needed to be at. But other people who had not saying that your life is like no life is better than no other, but I'm saying is that there's certain things that people understand and some that will not understand. Some people know what it's like to live hard, and some people don't know what it's like to live hard. That's just what I'm saying. And other people will not know how to live in other people's shoes. So you've been in a toxic environment your entire life. All you know is toxic. It's going to be hard to learn positive things because you had to learn it from your own self. So you had to, you know, put on your shoes and learn those positive traits and get rid of those toxic traits that's been learned, because you wasn't born with it. I wasn't born with these traits. I was just it was implemented in me at a young age, so I had to get rid of these type of stuff and have to learn positivity and everything, versus someone who already knows positivity and stuff can have a higher chance of going into the negative. So it's like a teeter totter basically. You live a hard life, you got a positive life. You got a positive life, sometimes you live a hard life. Then after you get done living a hard life, you live a good life and know how to maintain it. Some people just know how to maintain a good life and don't know if when something bad happens, they fold. There's people out there like that. That's just how it is. So I'm sorry for me getting off track and all that type of stuff like that. My apologies on that, but it's been I already healed and everything, and still working on myself at the young age that I am. It's like the only worst thing that I've done in my life was basically smoked weed and drunk and like drink alcohol with my father or with the people that I hung out here. That's like the only two worst thing I possibly did. And watch porn. That's what I did. But those are the only worst things. Ain't a good thing that it's only led to that. Easily fixed. That's just for me. Those are the only three things I've ever done in my life. You know, easily done, fixed. You know, good thing ain't nothing deeper than that. But yeah, my father started to increase his envy towards me and stuff because of on the hard shifts and stuff. There's sometimes my dad stays at my shifts and we both leave together. But there's time Big M, I was like, Big M, you think I should get a raise? He said, yeah. So it was I had to work this third last month. So this was more jumping into my month 3 of me working there. So on the shifts, on the night shifts, sometimes it just be me, Big M, and my dad. And before I clocked out, uh, he's like, Big M was like, "Hey man, take the cash in the jar." I was like, "For real? All of it?" I was like, "All right, joint, give me that." Put it in my pocket. My dad looked. He was like, "Oh, but I was working hard too." I was like, "Boy, you thought, bro." I said, you know, the insider. Insiders get paid more than the delivery drivers and stuff, but being an insider takes a lot more work. It's like we have to keep the building stable. You're just coming in and out, just in and out. It was like it's a blessing when I have a full group of people who have like 3 people at the pizza station, me and the other 2 people. That's all I need. And the person at the pizza cuts, the pizza be like so stacked, like the pizza start to overlap on each other on us plates and stuff. So we have to move fast, man. And football season was terrible because you already know everybody and their mama's getting pizza and wings and stuff. But I don't mind. I don't mind. The only time that I ever get frustrated sometimes is people still ordering pizza late, like at 11 o'clock, like close to closing. So I'm ready to go home, but people want to call or people want to walk in soon as it's about to close. And I know everybody in the industry, or you worked at Subway, Starbucks, any other shop. You cannot sit here and lie to me when you see these videos on how people come in at the last minute, wants to order something and stuff like that. But yeah, and that's used to be the only thing that got me irritated was that simply, simply. But um, I met new managers and I met new workers and stuff, and things has been cool. Things has been stable and stuff until this event where this is coming to the end. So my father and I, he always taught me how to play Street Fighter. Me and him play Street Fighter. I'm bad at it. I'm doo-doo at it. But he plays it and he played competitive. He will tell you the story. He told us a story to everybody. Stuff. He likes to tell stories about himself to everybody, and everybody at this point knows his story. You know what he's about to say and stuff. But, you know, just let him gas his head up sometimes. You know, why not? But his favorite character is Chun-Li, Ken, and Ryu, and Akuma. But his main is Chun-Li and Ryu. So we played Street Fighter on the PS4. So we do these tournaments, best out of 10. Now, when we first started, he kicked my butt, flawless victory. The next time we played, but before we played, I wake up early while he's still asleep. I smoke one and I start practicing with my character. Start practicing. So then I start to get 2 games into the 10. I still lose, but the games that I beat him increases. So it was this last time. Oh yeah, and that's when my sister was fully born. My sister was 6 years old, 6 to 7 years old at the time. So she used to when she comes home from school, she used to come to the house with me and my dad, and then around 8 o'clock, her stepmom comes and get her, and they go home. So yes, my sister was present at this time, fully grown. No, me and her is basically like the same. Me and my sister is the same, but like we look at a mirror and stuff like that. So we both like, you can tell that we're related. You can just tell that we are and stuff like that. We always fight. She always want to fight me. She always want to fight. I'm gonna make a part 2 on that stuff right there. I'm gonna make a part 2 on that stuff, but yeah, my father and I was play. Um, we played Street Fighter, and it was his last time that I wanted to show him. Well, he got upset because of my sister and I was playing that day, and she broke the TV. She threw an object at me. I ducked, and it hit the TV. And my dad didn't get mad at her. She got mad at me, and I told him, so you wanted me to get hit, and you mad because I dodged? How goofy does that sound when someone throws a punch or throw an object at you, and you get mad at the person for dodging? I said, bro, you just don't, just tell me you don't like me, bro. The only reason why you tolerating me is because you high and you smoking. That's the only reason why you tolerating me. It be them folks out there be like, I'm mad. We got a blunt in the car. I don't even know why I'm at. You know, them people, you know? But it was this day, this final day that I was waiting for in my life. My life. But I'm going to get into that because it's very long. This video is very long. But we're going to get into the other video real quick.